Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the beginning of a very special unorganized tournament. I am the returning Chillip the Flying Phillip. I ran into some legal troubles a while back, but I'll explain more of that during the match, as we are officially beginning the Mixed Tag Tournament to crown the first Mixed Tag Team Champion to go into next season. To start us off, we have the team of Homer and Marge going up against the team, or I should clarify that their team name is the Simpsons. It's like the Simpsons, but they replace the M with an N to reflect their sins. And their opponents tonight is the team of Zoe and Squidward, Tentacles with a winky face. As these two squids, they're quite brainy squids, quite creative, one musically, one artistically, and Homer and Marge are a straight-up married couple. But you see, the reason why Phillip paired them against each other too is that Marge assaulted Zoe, preventing her from getting in the women's chamber match. However, this would come back to bite Marge, as Haru would beat Marge in a match to also get Marge kicked out of that women's chamber. So in a way, it's a sort of karma on her. And now they finally have the chance to settle this feud once and for all by starting off this tournament. As for an update on myself, Chillip the Flying Phillip, I did get into a little bit of Phillip-esque trouble after Big Mama accidentally killed Toph. Which, thankfully, the fact that Big Mama did it, and not myself, was how I was able to kind of get out of the situation. Though some legal procedures did take longer than expected due to Super Zack Cucumber, who found a way out of my trance. Not fond of that, Zachary. Not fond. However, Plan B is well into motion. But you'll just have to see what's going on there at the end of the day. But for now, here comes Homer and Marge, the Simpsons. Two freaks with hammers. Both of them with a bloodlust. Both of them also former champions, I must add, too. Homer being a former Chaos champion, Marge being a former Chaos Women's champion. So these are probably the most well-accomplished duo. They were almost champions at the same time, however Marge lost it shortly before Homer won the title. And then Homer ended up losing it, and then when Marge had a chance to win it back, she ended up losing to Haru, thus she kind of lost the opportunity. Then, as we know, Homer ended up losing to Howard in an open challenge. So maybe winning this tournament and getting those mixed tag team titles is what they need to finally bounce back. To really get their groove back. The big forehead, the big hair. Both of these are sadistic powerhouses that you just don't want to mess with. I wouldn't even mess with them, and I have all kinds of issues. Well, it appears that we have gone monochromic. Word of the day, monochromic. That's a new segment I have where we had a certain long word for you guys to think about. And you see, monochromic is of course when everything goes to black and white or gray. And gray, sorry. My apologies. As we see the team of Squidward and Zoe coming out. They're shaking tentacles, though Zoe is a little bit longer. Squidward is the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses, while Zoe is Phillip's favorite monster. To quote a certain song from the hit television series Peacemaker. Check it out on HBO Max now. It's not sponsored by them, I just really like that show. But anyway, Squidward and Zoe. Zoe seems really excited to finally get a chance at revenge. Squidward's just excited to finally be in a match other than the Tom McGill's Memorial Battle Royal. Not to be confused with a handsome Squidward who's on vacation. This is intellectual Squidward. He's more brains rather than brawn, so it'll be interesting to see where he happens to go with his first major appearance. It's either his debut or his first appearance in a very long time. I don't remember if he was in the Tom McGill's Battle Royal or not. Oh wait, that's right. He appeared at a recent Royal Rumble. My bad. So it's not his debut, but it's his first time being in like a match rather than like a big spectacle of throwing people out of the ring. This is his first match involving like pins, submissions, all that good stuff. But Zoe, Marge, and Homer, they all have a little bit of experience. Though Zoe doesn't exactly have the best track record, as she is currently 0-2 in matches. Who knows? Maybe teamwork is where she's excelled all this time. So, I mean, a wild little fact about Philip's show here, and hey, y'all are getting a little trivia today. Be proud of that. God, it's cold in here. Is that the women's division Philip did not have a women's division until 2K20. Because back in 2K18, he just did not have a women's division. In fact, the only female wrestler he really had hired at the time was Ela Klein, back when Ethan and Ela worked for the company before they got released shortly after the Chamber match due to... Actually, it was mostly just due to Philip just not feeling like using them anymore. Actually, had nothing to do with the podcast drama. He just didn't really feel like using them anymore. So, yeah, that's a fun little fact about where they've been. Yeah. Could they turn up again someday? Who knows? Probably not, but who knows? It's Homer with a throwing chokeslam to Squidward. Not the strongest way to go, but to be fair to Squidward, this is both a Gorilla Man and a former world champion. I don't know how wise taunting was in that situation there, but I can't imagine it was very smart on Squidward's end. Which is ironic considering he's kind of he might be the smartest person out of everyone in this room. Either him or Zoe. Comment down below, who is smarter, Squidward or Zoe? My personal pick would be Squidward, because I mean, Zoe laid naked with Philip for 15 seconds. I feel like that's 15 seconds longer than anybody should be laying with Philip. I mean, the only time he did, it caused a volleyball to be born. And, oh, a stunning neckbreaker by Squidward, but as I was saying though, why would you lay naked with Philip? That's just a bad idea in any scenario. Yeah, in any scenario, I can't think of a justified reason to ever do that. I mean, even if you're both, like, freezing in a car, it's like, just take the cold, man. Like, I don't want those green mutton chops anywhere near me. And I'm not talking about the ones on his face. At least not just that. And I'm his clone. Though, I've shaved all my facial hairs. I did not want to match, that of Philip the Flying Phillips. I mean, Philip the Flying Phillips. God dang it, my brain's a little scattered at the moment. I must apologize. It appears that, all this court and law stuff has really gotten to my head, as I just cannot speak clearly. It's totally not because I'm recording this at 3 in the frickin' morning, but I might be a fool. It's Homer just tripping Squidward with all that mass, all that thickness. Homer is a very dense man. He's like a human barrel. A human gorilla, as I often call him. Oh god, and a nice leg drop by Squidward. And keep in mind, usually Squidward keeps 2 of his tentacles together at a time, so that leg drop was like 2 tentacles. It was like a double leg drop. Though Homer throwing him 500 feet in the air is possibly more effective. Homer knows how to get smart. Oh, springboard neckbreaker by Squidward, showing some surprising agility though, and following it up with an elbow of disdain. Shades of fellow intellect Damien Sandow, who, I kinda wonder what Damien Sandow's up to. Does he still work at NWA, or is he wrestling somewhere else now? I think he still wrestles. Honestly, I'm surprised Philip hasn't hired him. It's a wasted opportunity there, Philip is. Oh, Squidward with a pop-up teabag. Well, it was a pop-up knee, but then he transitioned to a teabag, but still, that's 4 knees to the face, considering Squidward's anatomy. And he follows it up with an octopus stretch. How appropriate. However, due to rules of a mixed tag, Marge was allowed to break up that pin. But can Homer take that Vamoose, as I think Damien Sandow called that neckbreaker Vamoose, which is like the end, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he called it. I'm having to think back to 2012, 2015 WWE here. It's been a little while since I've thought about that era. So really solid roster at that time. Like in 2014 and 15, it was a pretty solid roster. I mean, heck, all the way to 2019, the roster was pretty solid then. You know, the mass release happened in 2020 and so on, and yeah. At least they seem to have calmed down in 2021 so far, so that's good. Though I guess to be fair to AWS, you at least got Buddy Murphy out of it, so that's pretty cool. Eric Rowan, he had a run with the Dyads of Demise with Anubis and Lucifer, which went really well in Potato, but then once it came time to the high quality matches, they kind of choked up a bit. Now, Rowan lost the AWS Chaos title match. The Dyads Demise got eliminated in the first round by the Pancake Posse, so they had a brief split up. Rowan ended up leaving the group, no longer believing in Baphomet, so Anubis and Lucifer had to recruit Jimmy Neutron as their new leader, but then they got beat up by Woody Danger's team, which then afterwards Lucifer and Anubis ended up leaving the company after that, so yeah, sort of a strange journey the Dyads Demise went on there. Quite possibly one of the big... What's the opposite of one of the biggest falls in AWS history, man? Like, not quite Golden Globes bad, but still pretty bad that over half the people who've ever been in that stable have been released now. Derek Rowan and Jimmy still employed, but we also barely ever see them, so they might return 2K22 season, who knows. We are nearing the 2K20 season finale, which the final match will be, and this is an official note here, the season finale will be Mario versus Luigi. Loser leaves match. Loser of that match leaves AWS. Quite a dramatic way to conclude, I must concur. Though Unorganized and maybe Unbounded will probably continue on to sort of give this channel life while the commentators make a little side project, kind of both get a bit of a break and to build up their 2K22 rosters at the same time. Though, like I said, we will be keeping Unorganized will definitely continue on even with its inconsistent schedule, which is why I didn't have any uploads last week. But as for if Unbounded will continue, that will be up to Jack Action. I believe his name is Jackson, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You never know. I'm trying to keep up with so much details here in AWS. Such a very big deal. Oh, Marge is going for something here. Zoe nearly broke out, but Marge is still going. What could she be going here? Awesome bionic elbows. His arms may be skinny, but they're also very quick as Marge goes for a... Oh my god! A super poison Rana. That has gotta be it. Marge isn't even done with her. These two are revenge against each other. Zoe's definitely taken a beating so far, judging by the official AWS health bars. But can they make a comeback here? Here we go. A. Oh, god, Marge kicking out of A. Zoe's gonna have to do a lot to make a comeback here. Like, a lot to make a comeback here. Especially against a former Chaos Women's champion in Marge. Now she's celebrating. Feeling to that crazy energy. Doing a little bouncing around. She goes up to Zoe. And throws it to Homer. Could Marge be doing here? Oh. Zoe throwing Marge to the corner, thus Homer tagging himself in, though. Interesting strategy, I must say. An intellectual DDT here. Squidward lifts up Homer. What could he be going for here? A super kick to the... Oh, he nearly super kicked him in the gut there, but instead got a DDT, causing him to bleed. But Squidward no-sells that and knocks Homer over. The adrenaline rush of Squidward is impressive. Daring, even. Like, I have to respect that. I throw Zoe in the corner. Homer accidentally tackles the ref. Oh, it appears that Tentacles have won the match. Did Squidward and Zoe plan this out? Did they think Homer would, or is Homer just that much of an idiot that he just accidentally tackled the ref? Two former champions out in the first match of the tournament. I think we all know who's going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. Anyway, let's been Schultz the Flying Phillip and have a pleasant evening. Because we know Homer won't.